Hi ladies and gentlemen, Sean Davies, ColoradoReinsman. I'm going to do a quick update video today with Miss Cora. We've been working with her and you've seen some of the videos up to this point. Well, we've really kind of advanced with this horse. I have to do a couple updates that I've already got filmed, but I got to get them loaded. But we may get this one first. I've already introduced a pad and a surcingle to this horse, and I've cinched her up. She didn't even twitch. So today I'm going to just go through our basic warm-up again. You can kind of see the advancements that she's made in her understanding and her communication. And then I'm going to introduce her for the first time to one of my really old colt starting saddles. And she doesn't have a problem being cinched up. Now I want to see if the weight on her back and the stirrups bumping against her causes her any issues, because she is really making great progress with everything. So I'm going to just start warming her up. Get her brain on work. Back her up, ask her to go up, ask her to go that way. Good girl. Now she doesn't really pull on me too terribly much anymore. If she does, then I just correct that and move on. She's doing great. So I'm starting off with her on the lead rope just to get her brain on work. Walking real nice there. I'm going to change directions. I'm going to pick up here. I'm going to push that rear end. I'm going to ask that front end to step through. Very nice. We can just get her brain going both ways. Nice and relaxed. Good girl. I'll stand up tall. Ask her to trot. Good girl. Good girl. Now we had some really rough wind out here yesterday. She might be a little tweaky today. The wind was just blowing horrible, but she's doing really well so far. So what if she got excited, blew up a little bit, pulled on me? I'm not going to hold it against her. I know that with the weather, it makes a big difference with these guys. But she's working well, she's moving forward. I'm going to ask her to transition down to a walk. Good girl. Keep her moving right there. Good girl. Okay, I'm going to pet her, so I'm going to disengage her. Back her up. Back up. Good girl. I'm going to back away from her, have her come into me. Stop. Let's back her up again. 1, 2. Good girl. Wanted to get that back up just a little better. Good girl. She's really starting to understand. Good girl. Pet her on this other side. A lot of things I'm doing right now is in preparation for that first ride. So I want to be on this side, bump her on this other side, engage that brain too. Rub, rub, rub. Good girl. I'm gonna walk off. Direct her here. Let her think. See, she's understanding what that body posture means now. Walk this way and then ask her to trot. I'll stand up taller. She says, "What are you doing, man?" Right there. I keep looking forward and tell her, "No, that's the wrong answer," before I bring that stick into play. A lot of times this right here gets overused. And I want to try to not use that as much as possible. I want to just let her see where I'm looking and go from there. Let her figure it out. You don't have to go to the big correction right away. Give them about 3 seconds to figure it out. So I'll give you an example. I'm going to disengage her. I'm going to back her up. I'm going to direct 1001, 1002, 1003. See, by 3, she's already got it. She's moving in my direction. I didn't have to use my stick. And I'm going to do that same thing this way. pick up, I'm going to step and push at that rear end. So my body is exaggerating right now to help her. Later on, I don't do anything more than just a little look. Back her up, direct here. 1001, 1002, 1003. Look at her thinking. There we go. That's a good example. If she'd delayed much longer, I would have barely raised my stick off the ground to help her. But you don't have to do the big correction all the time. Flailing your bag, flailing your stick, smacking the ground with your string. A lot of times people just go right to that big correction. When I pick it up a little bit and get her really thinking, I might do my quick change. See, she's anticipating now. Now, change. Change my stick. See, she's anticipating and pulling on me just a little bit. So I'm going to work that back and forth. Change. Working her between myself and the fence. Look through here. Press the hip. Push the shoulder. Follow her through. Push the hip. Push the shoulder. Let her come through. I want that to be like Jello, so soft. More like butter. Hip. Push that shoulder. Get her to calm down a little bit. Let her just feel it. Step in. Hip. Shift her weight to her rear end. Press the shoulder. Get her to step over. Pivot. Hip. Direct. Pivot. Look at her hip. Push. Back her up. Shift the shoulder. See, the repetition here helps her. Now I'm going to walk. Good girl. Now right here, before, she would rush through that gap whenever somebody was on the outside of the fence with me there. She'd feel claustrophobic. Okay, I'm riding my horse. I'm going to make a turn. I'm going to look where I want to go. 1001, 1002, 1003. Pivot. Walk. Help her. I'm still looking forward. Turn. Look. Pivot. Walk. Look. 3 steps. Pivot. Walk. Don't let her get in front of me. Don't let her get in front of me. I'm going to straighten her out right here. And pivot. See, she blew through there. I'm going to do that again. Don't let her. She doesn't get to outrun me. Look. She doesn't get to trot past me and get in front of me. So I'm just creating a little energy right there. Little energy. She says, oh, I feel good. I'm just going to keep going until she gets this squared away. Good girl. Wiggle my lead rope. Wiggle it. Wiggle it. Say, don't run me over. Don't run past me. Keep walking. Push the shoulder. Let off the energy. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Keep going. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Use my body language. Tell her to walk. Good girl. Good girl. Let her figure it out. Breathe out. Let her walk. There, she got it. She got it. Good girl. Now let's go back to our turn. Let's look across the arena. 1, 2, 3. And walk. There we go. Help right here. Help. really hard to let her overcome what was getting her all excited. Didn't have to jerk on her, didn't have to do anything like that. Just wiggled that lead rope, put a little energy out in front of her drive line, get her to understand she's supposed to be walking and then paying attention to the turns. That's what I wanted her to figure out, that she doesn't have to run off, that she can watch me for the input as to what I want out of her. Good girl. We're going to do that this way a little bit. I know, those are big movements for you. This horse is very sensitive, which is fine. I like a sensitive horse. Good girl. So once again, I'm riding my horse from the ground. This is my rein. Right there, I'm going to pick up my rein and say, maybe you should slow down a little bit. Maybe you should slow down a little bit. Now I'm going to push that shoulder, take off, push, and just walk. Wiggle and say, there's energy out there. There's energy out there. Correct. Wiggle. Push. Relax. She's going to figure it out. She said, I want to stop by this saddle here and smell that pad. I'm very curious. I'm going to look, get a couple turns this way, walk, and look, turns this way, walk. See, I'm already setting this horse up for her first ride. She said I'd like to stop by that saddle again. Since she's so curious about that saddle, I'm going to say, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Just made that a little more difficult. See, I'm making going forward difficult for her. Here! See? Now all that pressure got off. That's what they mean by make the wrong thing difficult, the right thing easy. The right thing is walking forward. It's a piece of cake. Let's make turning easy. She's got to come around me, and now I'll walk straight. I'm going to walk her right over this saddle. Let her curiosity take over right here. Very good, young lady. Very good. So I'm going to let her curiosity about this saddle kind of overcome. I'm going to touch this thing, let it move a little bit. Now see, this ancient old saddle, it's seen a lot of old horses. And if she dumps it on the ground, I don't care. Good girl. Good girl. Let's just see how she does with our pad again. So once again, I'm going to introduce her to the pad. I'm going to take it away. Good girl. Now I've put this pad on her, 3-4 times now. And she's pretty much gotten to the point where it's no big deal. Says, I can handle that. And you could stand there and toss this saddle pad up there about 100 times each side or more. Good girl. See, she can handle that pretty good. I'm just going to walk off, let her walk with that thing on her. Good girl. So now, get her all situated. Yes, ma'am. Well, it's getting a little warm out here. I'm going to take off my jacket. This is good training for her. Whew. Says, oh my goodness, he scared me. Let me get my saddle all situated here. So I'm going to introduce this to her, let her smell it. Pick up my lead rope, let her smell it. then I'm going to walk off with it. Why you walk off? Well, if they can follow something, they're not as likely to be scared of it. Smell it? Now when I do this with the surcingle, well, the surcingle is just a leather, basically it's a leather girth I use for my long lining and ground driving work. And it's got rings and buckles on it, so it has a jingle to it, but it's very lightweight. And if she were to get excited, it's just a strap around. It doesn't bother her too terribly much. So let's just see if she can handle it. I'm going to rub her with it. Good girl. I'm going to set this up here. Who's a baby? And walk off. I got all day. I don't have to rush to cinching that saddle up. Oh, she says, I want to go ahead and get it on there. I'm just going to put this up over her neck for a second. Get myself all situated. I want to see her. If she leaves me, she leaves me. Oh my goodness, she said that. I felt that. I felt that. I can kind of feel that. Drop this. Girth down one. Now that's a whole new sensation for her. She's got weight on her back. Got the saddle up there. Now I'm just going to set that right there. I'm going to get this all situated. Once again, if she leaves, I'm not going to hold it against her. You're a good girl. Now I'm just going to drape this across my arm. I'm going to reach up underneath here, grab that cinch. Now this is where doing the surcingle really helps. So I get her used to this action already, and she's not sitting here feeling the weight and getting all spunky. Now I want to get this just secure. Let her think about that for a second. Who's a baby girl? Who's a baby girl? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Just let her think. I want to get this saddle cinched up just enough to where if she broke in half, it's not going to flop up underneath her. Good girl. Now she feels that. And this is going to be a strange sensation for her. So if she breaks in half, which, you know, I really don't think she will, but I don't underestimate it. I stay with her. I'm not going to let her just buck around the round pin. I'm going to pull her out of it, make her pay attention to me. Right now, those stirrups are bumping her sides. This is the first time she's ever had a saddle on her. You look at her, she looks like a horse that we've saddled her whole life right now, and I want to keep it that way. So I'm going to change my tool right here. I'm going to pick up, close my fingers, disengage her, back her up, stop, come in and pet her. Pretty exciting stuff. You can tell we're really overwhelmed out here. Isn't that right? Isn't that right, Mama? Yes, ma'am. So I may keep it simple, stupid today. I might not turn her loose to round pen today. If I do it tomorrow, I'll probably tie the stirrups together so they're not banging on the fence, as I want her to have a good experience with this each day. I want everything to be anticlimactic. This isn't about seeing, ooh, can they buck out? I never want to see this horse buck a day in her life. Unless a mountain lion attacks her. Now, if she's going to blow, it's going to be in the transitions. Because she'll start feeling that saddle a little bit more, and the stirrups will bang a little bit more. So if you're going to see any excitement, it'll be right here when I ask her to trot. Nothing? Good. She says, how was that? And I said, that was pretty dang good, except I started thinking about slowing her down and she read my mind. I'm going to stand up and ask her to trot. I'm going to stand down and relax. And say, you can slow down, young lady. Good girl. I'll change my tools. Back her up. Have to shoot the airplanes flying over. Trot her this way. Whoop. Think about it. There you go, mama. As you can tell, we're always right up underneath the flight path of the local little airport, and all the skydiving planes fly over. Good girl. So our first transition here, each way, looking pretty good. That's pretty good. She felt that. And I wanted to get her down before she got too excited. Now, I need to cinch her up a little bit more, because if I do ask her to canter, cinch her up till her eyeballs poke out. But if I ask her to canter a little bit here, that's where she's going to pop. Getting a little excited. Starts to pop, I'm going to drop this stick, grab this rope with both hands, and try and pull her around. I'm going to pick her up here. Good girl. She feels the straps, but I'm going to get her before she gets overwhelmed. She's getting a little excited. Look to me, look to me, look to me, mama. There, she just released. There, she released. See, when she snort, let go of that. Yes, man. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now pick up. Look at her rear end. Stop her right there. Back her up. Excelente. Excelente, corazón salvaje. Yes, ma'am. That was very good. You got one direction to go yet, and we are going to call it good. Yes, ma'am. you're showing me you're doing very well. Good girl. Oh, what was that? What was that? You go that way. Go this way. Go this way. Go this way. This way over here. This way. There you go. Silly. All right. We're going to get a little canter to the right. And if she overcomes that, we're good to go. Now her right brain's kind of kicking in right there. She feels that saddle. Let's let her trot out a little faster. And then we'll pick up just a little canter. Hold her up, help her get her feet. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Let's let her come down so you can figure out she can come down. I want you to keep going though. I want you to keep going. Now come down. Walking, keep walking. Good girl. Good girl. He's a baby. He's a baby. He's a baby. Oh, I know. I want to touch your nose. I want to touch your nose. What's the matter with your nose? I know. Oh, good girl. Boy, this horse is really coming along. Good girl. So last couple things. Let's just toss a rope up on here. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Now, I put those stirrups all the way up so they wouldn't be banging on her too much. This way just a little bit. Just bounce. She handled that really well. I'm gonna walk off. She says, "Where are you going?" I said, "That was crazy stuff." Oh, he's a baby. Oh, he's a baby girl. I know. What am I doing? Am I pushing the envelope? Yes, I'm pushing the envelope. I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm just telling her there's things to come. I'm a bump. You're a good girl. Oh, that's fun stuff. He goes, I can handle that. I can handle that. I can handle that. She goes, it just surprised me that first time. Oh. I know, honey, I'm just blowing your brain, aren't I? Blowing the mind. Oh, I know, I'm just blowing your mind. Yes, ma'am. I'm not going to get on this horse. One, I've got my other stirrup really short. I am just getting her prepared. She can overcome this stuff pretty quick. And that is my finale. Yeah, baby. That is my finale. In all honesty, if I pushed it today, I could ride this horse. But why? You can always push the envelope. I just did. That's a good enough envelope for me today. That's a great envelope for her. We've already broken through some barriers this week that are unbelievable for a horse that was trying to stick her foot on top of my head just a few weeks ago. So now she is getting her brain and her body prepared for her future. And her future is long, and it's like, say, well, how long do you want to take to do things? Well, how long you plan on living with your horse? As long as it takes. You can get things done really quickly if you take your time. Hurry up and fail, take your time and succeed. Whatever it takes. Sometimes things just drop into place and all of a sudden, boom, you got all this stuff done. You went, wow, where'd the time go? Oh, it's a big girl. It's a good girl. Good girl. I'm also going to say this. I'm not training this horse for me. I'm training this horse for Stacy, the client. I could ride this horse, and if she got excited whenever I went to get on, I could still ride her. But that's not what you do as a trainer for clients. You want to prepare this horse for a long life of being with their owner. And she's telling me that she's going to be a great little horse about that. She's going to be just fine. Very good. So, little girl, I'm going to uncinch you. She says, oh, thank you. Good girl. Get my latigo all prepared back up here. Oh, what did I do? There we go. Now I'm going to come back around here. That up over there. Now I don't sneak around them. I like to just move at a good solid pace. Do not sneak around. The slower, more tentative you are, the more worried they'll get. Good baby. All right. Let's go away. That's my friend. Where are you taking my friend? I know. Yes, ma'am. Good girl. Let's finish off with a little footwork. Good girl. Boy, she's got some nice hard feet. Gonna do for a trim pretty soon. Good girl. Good girl. Now, if you remember a couple of the early videos, she just wanted to step around. She's really starting to trust. Good girl. Get her. Girl. Last one. never get on a horse that won't give you their feet. If they can't give up their feet, they're not giving you their complete trust. Of course, there are some horses people are getting on that, you know, they're still fairly dangerous with their feet, but my rule is I don't mount a horse until I can get all 4 feet. Because once the Mustang especially trusts enough to lift up those feet for you, they're starting to understand that you're not going to hurt them. And that's an important point not to miss. Because otherwise, sooner or later, that horse doesn't trust you enough, you're going to find yourself in a bad position. So ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today with Cora. What a great little deal it's been with her today. You're going to see more and more as we go along, so stay tuned. Sean Davies, Colorado Reinsman.